always happy when the children of God are unhappy. The devil's always happy when there's a turmoil in the church and the family of God. It just tickles him to death to see it. But he's not always the one that's right on top of the thing. Sometimes people just mistreat people. Just mistreat one another. And the devil doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with it, but he sure is happy about it. Church right now is going through great attacks. Of course, my health is one thing, and when he sees the shepherd hurting, or then he tries to attack everything else, so that he keeps all of it in turmoil all the time. But listen, I'm going to tell you what, my God has no fear of Satan at all. Amen. He has total control over everything the devil is allowed to do. When God eases the pressure up off of his neck a little bit, let him run wild a little bit, that's God's business. But we as God's children don't even look at the devil. We look at our God and how much we trust him. We have a family here that cannot be broken. Amen. A family that cannot be destroyed by the devil. We're not going to allow it, because we got a God that put us together as a family, and we got a God that will keep us together as a family if we draw close to one another and unto him. I want to preach a message to you today. This one I just pulled out of God's business. I don't know. He got me preaching a message this morning. I entitled 7 Things That Men Have to Do. I talked to a young man a couple of weeks ago. He said, I don't have to do anything. And I'd always heard the old saying, you got to live, pay taxes, and die. I'd always heard that old wise tale, old saying that from way back. So I started thinking about that, and this young man's attitude about, I don't have to do anything, and the other one as well, live, pay taxes, and die. And I said, well, what did John think about that? First thing, man's got to live. To be a man, you got to live. Let's go to Proverbs. We're going to do one verse of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 11. The Bible says, hell and destruction are before the Lord. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? How much more then the heart of the children of men? Some say, I don't have to do anything but die. You'll do far more than die. Notice with the men of God and his word and what he said about some of the things. Several things. I'm going to tell you 7 things that you'll have to do. That you do have to do, you receive. Father, help me now. God, you've arranged this in a way, Lord, that I could not have. Lord, as I thought about it and struggled about this and how to put it together and what points to make first and last in the middle, God, I let you do that, and Lord, we'll let it have the intent that you intended for it. So I ask you, God, to help me now. Number 1, you got to live. Man has to live, Genesis 1:27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. Psalms 90 and 10 says, the days of our years are 60 years and 10. And if by any reason of strength they be 80 years, yet is their strength labor and sorrow, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. Number 1, you got to live. To live, life will roll on. Life is a rolling wheel. It's going to progress forward until we die. So life is, now what you make of it is strictly up to you. It's between you and God. There's some bad things that come your way that'll run you over. There's some things that you need to attach yourself to stay on the wheel and in the wheel of God in your life. And there's certain things that'll just leave you behind if you don't take advantage of them. So life must be lived out. If you don't run it, the devil will. He's glad to. The devil glad to run your life. If you just sit back and do nothing, don't get involved with anybody, or don't do anything, for the Lord, or just kind of stay like a hermit and don't get involved in anything. So the devil will run everything. He'll keep everything. He'll destroy everything you got if you let him. He'll destroy. And he say, well, I can't do this and I can't do that because I can't trust this and I can't trust that. People are going to be people from now on, and you cannot trust everybody. You cannot trust everybody. But you cannot avoid everybody because you can't trust everybody. Then your life becomes fruitless. Unfruitful, no reason to live. So there, you have to take chances, even in love. You have to take chances even in love before you start to cast the greatest love, which is, after we talk about the love of God for us, it's between a husband and a wife. Once you cast that love out there, you just in hopes that it'll return back. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But that doesn't. I don't think anybody should be, prompted to say, well, I'm not going to take a part in that at all. Listen, you got to take a chance on love, because it's never loved, never lived. So you have to do that. So that's part of life. And like I said, there's people that will let you down, and let you down terribly. But that's people. But don't close the door and say, well, that's it, I'll never take chances with another one. The next one may not do you that, and you may be the greatest person they ever had, and you may be able to do the will of God more than you've ever been able to do it before, and you may have been wound up in the will of God better than you ever have before. So you leave those things up to God, because I'm going to tell you right now, even when your heart gets completely torn apart, just ripped out of your chest and seemingly ripped to pieces, and you get in that dark place of life, I promise you, God can fix it all. And it's literally unbelievable. It's the impossible. That's what it is, the impossible. You find yourself in an impossible situation and say, God, it hurts so bad, I don't know that I can ever overcome this. God, I've hurt so bad I can't breathe. God, I hurt so bad I'm physically sick. I'm physically sick about this thing. And the devil comes in, boy, he just piles on every other little tidbit of bad news or bad gossip or bad words he can, and tries to hurt and do the most damage he can possibly do. Right. And what you have to do is damage control. You say, you know what? I got hurt, but I didn't get whipped. I got hurt, but I didn't get destroyed. I'm here. I'm coming back stronger and more confident and more trusting in God than I ever have been. And the family that supports me, and the church that I love, and the family that God has put together and put me a part of, I'm going to hang in there. I'm going to hang in there. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if this church, if people start to leave a church because of other people, you're not ever going to have a church. Because people will never live up to what they should. And always somebody in there sent by the devil to tear it to pieces. And some of them are very, and I'm not saying maybe they're doing it willingly, maybe unwillingly, maybe unknowingly, if that's possible. But it always happens. I've seen it all my life. So you can't hang in and cling in to people and say, well, now, see here, the Jacob who's coming, that's it for me, I'm not coming back. I can't come because Jacob. I come because God put me here. I come because God put me in this thing. And I can't take myself out of it. That's God's business. But we got to live. You got to live. 7 things you got to do. One of them, you got to live, man. And you can't let these things of life drag you down to where life has no joy left in it. You can ask God for your joy, even in the hardest of times, and He'll grant you the joy that you're looking for. So man has to live. Here's another one that's hard to swallow, but it's very, very true. Man has to reap what he sows. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Life's a circle. What did come around coming back.
Yeah, that's right.
What did come around is coming back. What you put out there is coming back. Whatever you got involved in, whatever you've done, or whatever deceit, or whatever bad, mischievous thing that we find ourselves involved in, we better watch it because it's coming back to us.
Right.
Galatians 6:7 says, "Be not deceived, God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Job 4:8 said, "Even as I have seen they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." Those that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his nostrils are they consumed. Verse 9. So a man has to reap what he sows, put out good, because it's coming back. If you want good, put out good. If you want hurt, put out hurt. If you want shame, put out shame. If you want abandonment, put out abandonment. Whatever you do in your life, count on this. The way that you treat people, you'll wind up being treated in your own life. So you have to be very careful, because it's guaranteed. It is an innate law of God. Whatever you reap, whatever you plant, whatever you put out there is coming up. I always say it like this. If you plant peas, you think corn's coming up? No. Peas are coming up. And you better sure that you want peas. So when you sow it, it's coming back. It's coming back to you. So whatever you want in your life, you sow in someone else's life, and it'll come back. So you reap what you sow, and you have to live. And here's another thing. We have to decide in this life, heaven or hell. We've got to decide this life. In this life, we don't get to get a chance to say, well, let's see how bad it is first, and then I'll make a choice. You better make a choice here, because that ain't going to be time. There ain't no choice that's going to be made in the hereafter. You got to make that choice here and now. You have to make that choice here and now. Psalms 95:7 says, "For he is our God, and we are the people of his pasture, and the sheep of his hand." Today, if we will hear his voice, we are the sheep of his pasture. But only if we hear his voice. Book of John chapter 1 and verse 12 says, "But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name." You got to believe on his name. You have to decide here whether you're going to go to heaven or hell. And what a great thought and what a great consolation it is in knowing it's my choice.
Amen.
I can choose heaven or I can choose hell. But if I don't choose either one, I'll go to hell.
Amen.
Because that's where I'm bound. I'm a sinner bound for hell out of the womb. When I was born into this world, I was bound toward hell. I have to make a decision to go to heaven. I have to make that decision to go to heaven. And if I don't make a decision, then I'm hell bound, and that's where I'll end up for all eternity. So I have to live. I have to reap what I sow. I have to decide heaven or hell. Which one? So, and then if I have to live, you know what? I have to die. I have to die. We had a funeral yesterday, and the man that was doing the message that brought out some great points in it. But we have to die. Job 9:25 says, "Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good. They are passed away as swift as ships, as eagles that haste us to the prey." In verse 25-26 of chapter 9, he said, life is fleeing. It's going. If you want to do something with it, jump on it. You better jump on that train because it's going. It's going by all the time. If you're going to do anything in life, you're going to have anything in life, you're going to be anything in life, you better get a hold of life. The life's going on. Don't get stuck in yesterday. Don't get stuck in some failing or some crisis or something like that. Because if you do, the best things of life will pass you by. God's got the greatest blessing after the worst pain that you ever felt, God's got the greatest blessing coming right behind that. I'm telling you, if you're a child of God, if God has allowed, and I'm telling you, if God has to allow certain things, and if God has allowed certain things in your life that hurt or that discouraged or that broke you, He's got to follow it up with a blessing, and it's coming right behind it. So don't prolong that thing. Don't draw that thing out that holds the blessing back. Pass through that. Let it pass. This too, the Bible says, will pass. It came to pass. It came to pass. It came to pass. It's going to pass. And there's a great blessing. There's a great reward. There's a great lesson learned in this trial that you've been through. But learn the lesson and move on. Move on and don't get stuck in it. If you get stuck in it, that's when you allow the devil to do the damage. Now, he can't jump on the wheel if it don't stop. He's got to stop and get stagnant and start getting bogged down in one particular thing, and then nobody's any good for God. If I get bogged down in every situation that arises in the church, I say, okay, this is it. Wait a minute, I can't do that. I got all this over here. Well, that's it. That can't be it, because if I get that, I can't. The thing's got to keep moving. We got to keep moving for God. We got to keep moving forward for God. Why? Because if we stop, people stop getting saved. Lives stop being changed. Children stop feeling secure. They get nervous. They watch us, and when they see us fall apart, then they start to fall apart by our example, and we're never going to set that example for them. We have to set an example of a warrior. We have to keep on keeping on. We have to bow up and get it. We can't quit. We can't quit. Never. Never quit. Never say die. Never say I'm whipped or I'm defeated, because I've always got God coming on my side. We have to die. Number 5 is this. You got to stand before God. Whatever you did, whatever you've done, you got to stand before God, face to face. Face to face with God, and what you're going to tell Him. How are you going to handle this with God? How are you going to defend your wrong? How are you going to defend your attack on someone else? How are you going to defend your evil ways? How are you going to defend any of that before a holy God? And you might be sitting there and say, He's not going for that. He's not going to, and He's going to make you face that thing that you've done. You have to stand before God. Hebrews 9:27 says, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this, the judgment. God will judge everything. To say, well, hey, he got by with something on that. That's not going to happen. None of us, you or me, are the ones getting by with anything. Anything. God's not going to wink and nod. God's not going to look away. God's not going to say, well, I'm not going to deal with it. God can deal with everything at one time. See, if I start dealing with this and this, and I get 3 or 4 things at a time dealing with, I miss on this and that and that. God don't mess up on nothing. He can take everything the world and His creation has to offer and lift up to Him, and He can solve it all in one breath. So that's the kind of God we serve. There's no fear in that. But we all have to stand before God. Number 6 is this. We that are Christians, we have to go to heaven. Got to. Can't get out of it. Can't get out going to heaven. You got to go now. You got to go. As those that are going to hell or that reject God, they got to go to hell. We got to be accepted here. We got to go to heaven. Can't get out of it. Ain't no way out of it. And when I became His child, I can't quit being His. I'm His throughout all eternity. Whatever happens, I can claim this. However it wound up, I wound up with Him. I wound up by His side. I wound up with His arm around me. I wound up with His loving look as I come through heaven's gate, and His arms open wide. I look forward to that, and I can't get out of it. Nor do I want to. Amen. And then there's those that are not Christians that have to go to hell. Well, let's just don't do nothing, and maybe God will just slide us over to the good side since he didn't do anything. It's not going to happen. You got to purposely, with your full intent, go to the Lord and say, Lord, I don't want to be on that side that's going to hell, Lord. I want to be on your team. I want to be on your side. I want to be on the winning side. I want you to forgive me of my sins, Lord, and save me. Forgive me of my sins. As I repent of my sins, not only do I want you to forgive me of my sins, but I want you to give me help in repenting. What do you mean, help in repenting? I got to turn away from some things, and I can't do it by myself. And I need some help to repent. My heart is repenting, but there's things in my life that need to be gone, that need to move out of my life, God. And I've tried a long time to move them out by myself, and I still haven't moved them out. I repent of them, but I'm asking you for help to overcome them. Amen. Whatever it is in my life that is contrary to God, I want you to forgive me and help me repent of them. So here we go, and I'm closing straight up 12 o'clock. Got to. Man has to live. Man has to reap what he sows. Man has to decide on heaven or hell. Man has to die. All have to stand before God. We that are Christians have to go to heaven. Those that refuse God have to go to hell. That's the whole ball of wax right there. That's the whole duty of man right there. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Are you going to go ahead and live? Might as well. You're here. Might as well go ahead and live. Yeah, but I went through there like, if it wasn't that, it'd be somebody. If it wasn't you, it'd be somebody else. If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. Because you know why? Because there's still more people left on this earth. As long as there's more than two, there's problems. You got problems. You got more than two, there's problems. Well, matter of fact, well, I better think. Yeah, let's let that go. Adam's all right. That's okay. I'm going to leave that for your own imagination. So, I'm going to say let's go ahead and live. Let's go ahead. Let's don't wait on the devil to catch up with us. Let's leave him in the dust. Behind us. Behind us. And that tries to defeat us, just shake it up. Paul got a snake on his hand in the fire. No, he just shook it off. And then being a tree, those men that were on that island, they just said, my God, he just got bit by a deadly poisonous snake. And he shook it off. He ought to be sweating up and dying. But he didn't. He shook it off and kept right on going. Building the fire. Building the fire. There's a stake in every fire that you get involved in. And they will back you. You know what? Shake them off and go on. Shake them off and go on. I'm telling you, we gotta live. We gotta reap what we sow. Just count on that. So be very careful when you sow it. But you're going to be reaping it later. We have to decide about that, heaven or hell. I think what it is, see, because, you know, I'm telling you what, if the Calvinist was right, if predestination was right, that's the only way it is. If Calvinism was right, I wouldn't have a chance. I can tell you right now, God would have never picked me. I'm just not up there. I prayed he'd overlook me altogether, but I don't think when he was sorting them out and everybody putting the names on the ones that had no choice and they were going to be guaranteed saved, I probably would have missed that boat by a long shot. Amen. So forget all about that Calvinism and predestination. That's a bunch of foolishness. You better decide on heaven and hell right now. Because you got to die. And you got to stand before God. And you got to be judged. And you got to go to heaven or hell, one or the other. And you can make it real easy. You can make it real easy today. You can say, hey, I got it. I'm going to go to heaven. I'm going to heaven by my own choice. And that's all I have to do is choose. All I have to do is choose. I ain't got to go dig hell. It's already there. I ain't got to do some great work to go to hell. It's already there. And heaven is too. And I can take a choice of either one. Which one would I choose? I really don't think anybody in their right mind would choose him. So if you're here today and you haven't made that choice and made it clear and plain and have full assurance that if I close my eyes and death, I'd wake up and go, if you're not assured of that, do it right now. Do it today. Do it in this invitation time. Why leave here with a chance of not making it back before you got saved? Why leave here and say, you know what? I may leave this world in death if I don't make this choice now. I may never have another opportunity in my life. And my life may end, and then if my life ends without me making a choice, then the choice has been made. Hell's mine. So as I close, and you decide on all of this, am I going to let this last tragedy, or this next tragedy, or this next crisis, or this crisis, or that crisis before, am I going to, is that what then, well, what's it going to take to get you to stop and quit on God? This one, the next one, the next one? I say don't quit on God. I say keep on keeping on. Keep on trusting Him. Let the thing pass and it'll pass. I will tell you right now, I figured out, Mama said don't scratch that scab off. Don't keep scratching that scab off. You know what I found out? That thing can clear up about twice as fast if you don't take that scab off. God made that thing scab over for a reason. There's healing in that scab that He put, that cap that He puts on that cut. He seals it, and if you'll let the thing alone and quit digging in it with your knife and fingernails, it'll heal over. But the more you dig in that thing, boy, the bigger sore you get. The bigger sore you get. I went, no, I'm not going there. That's close. That would make me look stupid. I'll do enough of that. I'll do enough of that unintentionally. I don't want to intentionally do it. So let's close on this one. You make a choice. Which one will you choose? They say it can't be that easy. Well, let me tell you this right now. If you choose to reject Christ today and you die and wound up before Him, He's going to look at you and He says, it was just exactly that easy. I made it as easy as I could. All you had to have done was said yes. And you still rejected me. So don't think that, well, I'm just going to pass this off because I'm not ready and it couldn't be that easy. I'm going to tell you right now, don't pass it up. Because it is that easy. Ask Him, Lord, forgive me. He can forgive you of the worst sin that has ever been committed. Only one unpardonable sin. He can forgive you of anything, regardless of how bad. And He can, listen to me, He can forgive you of burning them people's house down just as easy as He can forgive me hitting Tommy on the hand with a hammer and hitting me. Just because I wanted to. He can forgive me of that, or that, no matter what person I have, just as easy, either one. He can say, forgive him. Either one of them. You don't know how bad it was. It don't matter. God's big enough to cover it. So let God cover it. You messed up this last week. You messed up this last month, this last year. Put it behind you. Get it forgiven. Get it forgiven. Don't worry about the thing. Let it die. Let it die. But if you don't get victim, it'll starve to death and die. Trust God today. Father, as we close, God, these your people. Lord, there may be one here that don't know you as Lord and Savior. Oh, God, have mercy on them right now. God, give them strength enough to step out and say, look, Jesus, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Even if they are saved and they're your child, and they want to get their life back on track. God, help them do that today. Lord, let them come to the altar as your child and just say, Jesus, forgive me. I failed you. Please forgive me, strengthen me, set me back on the right path of life. And it can be done. And then that one is here that don't know you as Savior. Let them come and say, Jesus, forgive my sins and save me. And you'll put them on the track of life. Lord, you have your way in this group of people today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Amen.